How do you think collisions are going to form now? We're getting into 2026, 27. Who do you see? Because there's going to be collisions.
Of course.
As usual, as per any other election we've had. And
it's going to be difficult.
Already we can see them shaping
up.
But next year, I know for sure it's going to be very open.
It's going to be difficult because the same card that was played during Ford,
in what sense?
Now your card is usually, that script is usually written by the foreigners who have got interest in Kenya. I'm talking British in America, Western countries. How do you chora your card?
Do the Chinese have a lot of influence in politics yet?
They might have. They might have. Like sasa sijui huku nani who's their point man.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sijui point man wao hapa.
It feels like
lakini wanaweza come. Sasa watu kama Chinese wakakuja, imagine wakapatia mtu kama Maraga job. Pesa si atachukua. Kwa sababu ni pesa tu at the end of the game.
It's interest.
Kwa sababu interest. Kwa sababu nini wanaitwa nani? Our voters. Our people, our folk, and even the Genzs. Everybody wants money.
True.
You can't give people money alafu wakatae.
That's true.
Unless sasa uambie, okay, we'll give you money, but unless we come with a narrative. Kuna narrative moja ilitumiwa one time. Pesa kwa fulani, lakini kura kwa mwingine.
Yes.
It also works.
They said that. Check their money, but don't vote for them.
Yeah.
That also works.
Jimmy Wanjigi kwa 90% ya maendeleo ya nchi, ufadhili wa maendeleo ya nchi hii alihusika moja kwa moja. Maana wakati wa Kibaki wakiwa na mtu anaitwa Dave Mwangi na wengine kina Saitoti mle, ndio walikuwa watu wa kwanza kufanikisha Mchina kuingia Afrika. Na kwa hivyo kulifanyika deals na maandishi yakafanyika ya kuwa Jimmy na wenzake waliokuwa pale, kwa sababu wao ndio wamefaulisha kumleta Mchina, alafu watamu market yule Mchina katika nchi yetu na katika nchi ya Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, Burundi, Rwanda, DRC, Malawi, Zambia kule. Kwa sababu through Exim Bank wakakuwa na maagano ya kwamba Jimmy na wenzake watafanya campaign ndio miradi ya Afrika ifanyike kupitia kwa Mchina. Maana wakati ule Kenya ilikuwa imemilikiwa na Amerika na Uingereza sana.
Let me tell you this. Let me state on record.
Yes.
That we, all the way back in about the year 2000, were the ones that initiated what you saw as the Chinese money coming into Africa. I had some very good friends in China, and I visited China, and they were interested in expanding into Africa.
You asked me an earlier question. Why would they kill you? In this incident of William Ruto, because I'd like to come here, I want you to understand there are two pillars of any government. There's the pillar of guns, and even the MOU I did with them was based on that. The pillar of guns and the pillar of money. Without those, a government cannot operate. All right? Those are the two pillars. A gun to protect people, to protect them, to protect money. And money to buy those guns. That is the essence of any government anywhere. I do not have guns. I am not a militia. I'm not trying to overthrow the government of Kenya.
But yet you say they're threatened by you.
Yes, because I've gone after the money. I have been talking money for the last 2 years. I'm going after the other pillar because they have broken the constitution of this land on the pillar of money. And it is amazing what has happened the last 12 or so years. And especially now being perpetuated by this regime. The illegalities to this sacred book called the Constitution are phenomenal. Phenomenal. So gone after the money. And all we've done by going after the money is first and foremost educating the people. Telling them what their real problem is. Their problem is not the small numbers, and I call them small numbers in relation to the grand theft of the little corruption things we are seeing in governance. They have an essence of my capacity. They have an essence of who I am. And there's one thing you need to understand in politics and in leadership. You know who your competition is. You know it in your gut, especially when you're up there. You know it in your gut where your competition is. where your problem is, who can remove you. You know it in your gut. There's one thing I do understand this country. I understand it, I feel it, I live it, I know it, and they know I know it.
If you were president today, what would be the 1, 2, 3 things that you would do to solve the crisis in the country?
I'll tell you, the first thing is that I would cut off the chain of debt. Because I want you to understand that in as much as all this is going on, I told you we only had a deficit of 1.3. Kenyans, up until today, have paid 9.8 trillion towards that debt and still owe 11 trillion. It is something I would cut off like yesterday. And that frees up government money to be able to provide services to Kenyans and stimulate the economy by taking money back to the people. And that is what you call now economic liberation. The one thing that has not been understood by many people up until today is what period we're in. We went through the political rights period, which is about cutting up this cake for seats, as they are trying to do now. Nobody cares about it because we passed it. The 2010 Constitution gave us our rights. Now we are into the economic rights period, where we define economic models about the bakers of the cake. I, for example, am a capitalist who believes in the essence of social democracy, social justice. Okay? And I must create my model. This is the defining moment of ideological economy, ideological politics. I myself will be very interested to see the private sector be the driver. So I'll never take their money. I don't need it.
The person who should take over, in my own opinion, I have listened to all these people who want to be president, and I think Jimmy Wanjigi is the best.
And I think if you recall, when I was last here, we talked about a system we inherited at independent Kenya that was not ours. Remember, we didn't define ourselves as tribes. Somebody came and told us what tribe we belong to. Somebody even called us Nilots and Bantu. Somebody came here and put a system in 1897 with a company called Royal British East India Company. Went on in 1902 to call it Imperial British East Africa Company. And when Kenya became a colony, that company that came to extract and exploit our country and dominate us became the civil service, became the system. Okay, this is reality. How different is it today? It became the civil service. Their watchmen became the policemen. Today, when you go and talk to a policeman at a government office, okay, doesn't he treat you like a watchman? Unataka nini? You are the taxpayer. That is your public office. And he's asking you what you want, because the most important people are the ones who are inside there, not you. Right? That's no different to a watchman. Right? This is what happened. We have never changed this system. Okay? Because it has also worked for those who have so-called inherited power, gotten power. They perpetuated it because it has this thing of the wagogo. Right? But it exploits us. It extracts from us. How different is this government? The one thing William Ruto came in and he said, this is a time for the hustler, not the dynasty. This is a time that he is going to bring the people to the table, not the wagogo.
So Jimmy,
okay,
the real
and what happened? And what happened? Because it was in a sense a revolution of that order, right?
And people resonated with it.
And people believed it. They believed it. They believed it. 2 years down the line, I think let's be sincere. He's been unable to do it.
Me, I belong to Safina Party. To join Safina Party, star 509 hash on your phone.
You can say that again for
star
anyone.
509 hash. Follow the prompts, join Safina.
Wenye mmeona, the change of our country is dependent on civic education. 100%, mia kwa mia. It is dependent on how well the voters can make their decisions. Kwa hivyo mimi na wewe, if we don't go out there and teach the people that tribalism brings poverty and bad governance, if we don't go out there and teach the people how their public funds is used, if we don't go out there and teach them the effects of celebrating or even tolerating corruption. Hawa watu hawezi elewa, and they'll make the same wrong choices, and your life and my life and their life.
I find that the more crooked you are in the Kenyan political arena, the quicker you succeed. I don't know why. They don't, and I say the electorate seem to want these tainted people. I don't know what's wrong with them. If they have a chance to choose somebody who's straight, who's on the surface of it looks reasonably straight, they're not interested. They want these ones that lie to them, these ones that cheat them, these ones that run. Provided he has bags of money to spread around, they're quite happy.
You see, I've sat with the opposition in about 5 meetings. I may not agree so much with Jimmy Wanjigi politically, maybe we may not be on the same side. Okay. But I was happy that in every meeting, Jimmy Wanjigi kept asking the same question. He kept saying, what are we uniting for? He kept asking every single meeting until it became like a bother. But he was asking a very fundamental question. He said, yes, you're saying we should unite. Cross-political and cross-generation. Young people and old from different political parties. But our unity cannot be just to remove William Ruto. We have to offer a better future. So what are we uniting to do?
And that question, was it answered?
It was never answered because you cannot ask the problem to be the solution to the problem. How do you expect the problem to answer you on what the solution is to the problem?
And they are the problem.
So is it official that you're out of that?
Completely. I should not be counted there. Let them own their own mistakes. Whatever shall befall them is upon them. But for me, as a young person seeking better leadership, it will be a very great mistake to betray the blood of those who lost their lives on the street, whose brains were splattered after being shot by police, fighting for better governance, to just join in an opposition that is not offering a better future, that is not offering justice, that will not audit the debt because they are the source of the debt, that will not pursue corruption because they are corruption itself.
Hapo juu niko na Jimmy Wanjigi, party leader of Safina Party. Alafu niko na Willis Otieno, deputy party leader wa Safina Party. Tena atakuwa running mate wa mheshimiwa Jimmy Wanjigi. Wakenya wanasema hawataki politicians. Wanasema wanataka managers. Managers ndio hawa. Managers ndio hawa. Patieni hawa nafasi waongoze Kenya. October 2025 this year, Jimmy Wanjigi, mheshimiwa Jimmy Wanjigi na mheshimiwa Willis Otieno, tena senior lawyer, wataanza kutembea Kenya mzima. Kenya mzima. Mwambieni Willis Otieno na Jimmy Wanjigi shida zenu. Na Jimmy Wanjigi tunamjua.
Youthman chukua kura.
Lazima.
Na usiogope kupiga kura. Juu after tumepiga kura tunazichunga mpaka ngware. Tunawasaidia kuzihesabu.
Mpaka rena ngware.
Hakuna wizi wa kura. Youthman chukua kura.
Wanatugeuza IEBC.
Na upige kura Youthman. Correction.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mengi. All I want to say is Ruto must go like yesterday. Bye.
Enyewe Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. Wash fire, Ruto must go. Enyewe Ruto must go. By the way, Ruto must go.